Hello students, my name is Sumit Sharma. I am working in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram as an assistant professor in computer science department. So this is our next lecture of web series of web designing. And in the last lecture we had done web browsers, web servers, HTTP and also about HTTP request response transaction. I hope you all understood these topics very well. Now, today we will discuss about basically TCP/IP model in details and its services. But to understand about the TCP/IP model, first of all we need to discuss about some topics which is very important related to the TCP/IP model, like data communication, networking, components of data communication, and then we will discuss about TCP/IP model and also its services today. So now we are discussing about data communication. So what is data communication? If we are talking about first of all communication means exchange of information. So here we are discussing about data communication. So data communication, the term telecommunication means communication at a distance. That means the word data refers to information presented in whatever form is agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. Data communication are the exchange of data. Above, telecommunication means communication at a distance. So communication means exchange of information, and the word is tele means at a distance. So telecommunication means communication at a distance. Okay, so data communication are the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission medium such as a wire, cable, etc. Basically data communication is said to be local if communicating devices are in the same building or in a same restricted geographical area. The meaning of source and receivers are very simple. The device that transmits the data is known as source or sender, and the device that receives the transmitted data is known as receiver or destination. So data communications aims at the transfer of data and maintenance of the data during the process, but not the actual generation of the information at the source or sender and receiver. So basically a data communication system may collect data from remote locations through data transmission circuits and then output processed result to remote location. The different data communication technique which are presently in widespread use developed gradually either to improve the data communication techniques whose already existing or to replace the same with better options and features. Then there are data communication jargons to content with such as baud rate, modems, routers, LAN, WAN, MAN, PAN, TCP/IP, ISDN during the selection of a communication system. Hence, it becomes necessary to review and understand these terms and gradual development of communication methods. Got it? So this is the basic description about data communication. Now, we are discussing about network, because network is a basic need to develop networking. So first of all we can discuss about what is network, why we use network. Okay, so network, a network is a set of devices connected by communication links. Okay, so what is a network? A network is a set of devices connected by a communication links. A node can be a computer, printer, or any other device capable of sending or receiving data generated by other nodes on the network. Basically, a network is a collection of computers, servers, network devices, or other devices connecting to one another to allow the sharing of information. Basically, we are using network or networking to share the information. Okay, so basically it is a collection of computers, servers, and other communicating devices to one another to allow the sharing of information. Okay, so a network consists two or more computers, because if we are talking about only one computer, then it is a node. If we are talking two or more than two computers, then it is a network. Basically, in a network there are minimum two computers are there, one for sender and other one is for receiver. So network consists of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources such as printer, CD, and exchange files, or electronic communication. So the computers on a network may be linked through cables, physically attached means telephone lines. If we are talking about wireless, so radio waves, satellites, infrareds, etc. An excellent example of a network is the internet, which connects millions of people all over the world. So to access the internet, to sharing the information by the help of internet, there are two types: wireless or wired. If it is in a local area network, then it is wired. If we are talking about WAN, wide area network, then it is wireless. Simply. To the right is an example image of a home network with multiple computers and the other network devices all connected. So this is the basic description or introduction about the network. Now we are discussing about networking. Okay, so network is a subset of network, first of all. So now we are discussing about networking. So what is networking? Why we use networking? Without networking, we are able to send the data or not? We are able to share the information or not? So now networking is a process of connecting two or more computers for sharing. Basically, it is a process to share the information. In other words, we can say that networking, also known as computer networking, and networking or computer networking is the practice of transporting and exchanging data between nodes over a shared medium in an information system. Through the networking, computers share information such as email, file, documents, and resources such as printer, internet, disk, storage, CD drive, hard drive, etc. So networking comprises not only the design, construction, and use of a network, but all the management, maintenance, and operation of the network infrastructure, software, and policies. Here we are discussing about computer networking or networking. So it enables devices and endpoints to be connected to each other on a local area network. In short form, we can say that LAN. Or to a large network such as the internet, or internet is a WAN, wide area network, or a private area network. So this is an essential function for service provider, business, and consumer worldwide to share resources, use or offer services, and communicate. So networking facilitates everything from telephone calls to text messaging to stream video to the Internet of Things. Internet of Things means IoT. The level of skill required to operate a network directly correlates to the complexity of a given network. For example, a large enterprise may have thousands of nodes, means thousands of persons or thousands of computers, and rigorous security requirement such as end-to-end encryption. If boss wants to talk to a single person, then it directly connected to end-to-end encryption, requiring a specialized network administrator to oversee the network. At the other hand of the spectrum, a layperson may set up and perform basic troubleshooting for a home Wi-Fi network with a short instruction manual. Both examples constitute computer networking. So these are the basic description about data communication, network and networking. Okay, then now we can discuss about the components of data communication, because if we are talking about data communication, then some major components required to follow the data communication system. So data communication, as is given in diagram, there are 5 components required for the data communication system. First one is sender, who create the message. Second one is receiver, who receive the message. Third is medium, by which channel, by which way, by which transmission using the data will flow from sender to receiver. And fourth one is message, and fifth one is protocol. So now we are discussing in detail about these 5 components. So first of all, what is message? The message is the information that is communicated, or we can say that the message is the data that is communicated. It may be text, numbers, images, sounds, video, etc. The second one is sender. Who is sender? What is sender? The device that sends the data, the device it sends the message is called sender. In data communication system, computer is usually used as a transmitter. It is also called sender. And a sender may be computer, workstation, telephone, video camera and so on and etc. Now third one is receiver. Who is receiver? What is receiver? What type of data he or she received? So the device that receives the data or message is called receiver. The receiver can be a computer, workstation, printer or a fax machine, like a sender. The fourth one is medium. What is medium? The path through which data is sent. The path through which data is transmitted from one location to another is called a communication channel. So if the receiver and the sender are within a building, a wire may be the communication channel, and if they are located at different location, the channel may be the telephone lines, fiber optics, satellite and microwave. It is wired connected, then if the wire disconnected, or either is wireless connection in between sender and receiver. And last one is protocol. It is very important. So protocol, what is a protocol? A protocol is a standard set of rules that allow electronic devices to communicate with each other. And these rules include what type of data may be transmitted, what commands are used to send, and what commands are used to receive data, and how data transfer are confirmed. These are the collection on which the rule is set is called a protocol. Okay, so these are the basic components, 5 basic components of data communication system. Now in next slide we are discussing about data flow. What is data flow? How the sender send the data to the receiver, so how the data will flow. So there are 3 basic process by which data is flow. Okay, so simplex, half duplex and full duplex. So what is simplex, half duplex or full duplex? If first of all we are discussing about simplex. So in simplex transmission mode, or the communication between the sender and receiver occurs in only one direction. In the given slide, the first diagram is related to simplex, in which mainframe is as a sender and monitor is a receiver. So it is not compulsory that it is from sender to receiver, receiver to sender. It either send the data, sender to receiver, or it either responds the data, receiver to sender. So basically the term is simplex transmission mode, in which the communication between the sender and receiver occurs only in one direction. Either send the data to receiver, or either receiver send the response to the sender, but only in one direction. Okay, the sender can only send the data and the receiver can only receive the data. The receiver cannot reply to the sender. Okay. For example, the keyboard. Keyboard can only send the input to the monitor, and the monitor can only receive the input and display it on the screen. Okay. The second option is half duplex. So what is half duplex? The communication between sender and receiver occurs in both directions in half duplex transmission, but only at a one time. The sender and receiver can both send and receive the information, but only one is allowed to send at any given time. Half duplex is still considered a one-way road, in which the vehicle is traveling in the opposite direction of the traffic has to wait till the road is empty before it can pass through. For example, in walkie-talkie, the speakers at both ends can speak, but they have to speak one by one. They cannot speak simultaneously. And the last one is full duplex. So what is full duplex? In full duplex transmission mode, the communication between the sender and receiver can occur simultaneously. Example, mobile phone. And the sender and receiver can both transmit and receive at the same time. Both transmit and receive data at the same time. Full duplex transmission mode is like a two-way road in which traffic can flow in both directions at the same time. For an example, in a telephone conversation, two people communicate and both are free to speak and listen at the same time. So these are the three basic data flow. By the help of these topics like a data communication network, networking, components of a data communication system and data flow, now we are discussing about TCP/IP model. Now we are discussing about TCP/IP model, and I tell you that it is very important topic in this unit, and it is very important topic for networking aspect also, because by the help of this model we know about internal structure of internet, means how data will flow from sender to receiver. Okay, basically in TCP/IP models we have a 5 layer. In ancient time, if we are discussing about in ancient times, we have 4 layers, but last layer is also categorized into 2 categories. So basically right now we have 5 layers in a TCP/IP model. The first layer is physical, second one is network interface, or we can say data link layer, and third one is internet, fourth one is transport, and fifth one is application. Before it, first of all, we are discussing about before discussion about the TCP/IP layers or its services, we can discuss about TCP/IP model. What is a model? So in TCP/IP model, what can we do? So introduction to TCP/IP model. So the TCP/IP is an acronym for Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol and IP means Internet Protocol. So TCP/IP means Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. It is the network model used in the current internet architecture as well. So TCP/IP is a collection of protocols, applications and services. We already discussed about protocols. It is a set of rules. So protocols are set of rules which govern every possible communication over a network. These protocols describe the movement of data between the source and the destination or the internet. So these protocols offer simple naming and addressing scheme. Basically, the protocols in TCP/IP move data from one network layer to another. Okay. So as we discuss in last slide that we have 5 layers, so here we can discuss about these layers. First, I am talking in decreasing order, means from 5th layer to 1st layer. So basically, first of all, we can discuss about application layer. So what is application layer? So application and also discuss about its services, why we use this layer. So basically, application layer, it provides different services such as manipulation of information in several ways, retransferring the files of information, distributing the result, etc. And the functions such as login or password checking are also performed by the application layer. In this layer, protocols many protocols we can use like FTP, file transfer protocol, HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, etc. Then it goes to layer 4, means transport layer. It is very important layer in the TCP/IP model. Okay, so basically it uses TCP and UDP protocol. Here in transport layer we can discuss about two protocols, TCP and UDP protocol, for end-to-end transmission. If anyone asks in which layer the transmission end-to-end, so we can say that in a transport layer the end-to-end transmission take place. Okay, so we already discussed about TCP, transmission control protocol, and UDP stands for user datagram protocol. So TCP is reliable and connection oriented protocol, first of all. And TCP also handles flow control. In comparison to UDP, in comparison to TCP, the UDP is not reliable and TCP is reliable. The UDP is connectionless protocol, but TCP is connection oriented protocol. Okay, the UDP is a connectionless protocol, also does not perform any flow control. So in this layer, transport protocols uses only two layers, two protocols, TCP/IP or UDP. The third layer, internet layer. The function of this layer is to allow the host to insert packets into network and then make them travel independently to the destination. However, the order of receiving the packet can be different from the sequence they were sent. The second layer is network interface. We also called it as a data link layer. Performs synchronization. Data link layer performs synchronization or a bit level synchronization. And also it take place for the error control, which is to be transmitted over the physical link. Data link layer enables error detection and adds error detection bits to the data which are to be transmitted. And the last one is physical layer, means first. In this layer, activating, maintaining and deactivating the physical connection. Physical connection means by the wired way or by the wireless way. So defining voltages and data rates needed for transmission, also converting digital bits into electrical signal, and deciding whether the connection is simplex, half duplex or full duplex. So these are the description and also provide you information about the services of these layers. So now I'm going to provide you some important questions based on today's topic so that you will get an idea that which type of questions come in university exam from this topic. The first question is, what is network? The second question is, what is networking? The third question is most important, what are the components of data communication system? There are 5 components: sender, receiver, message, and medium, and protocol. Explain the term data flow. How data will flow in a 3 basic components, like a simplex, half duplex and full duplex, or we can say duplex. And the last one is most important question, explain TCP/IP model and also its services. So this is the end of today's session. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day. Hope you will watch my next video in which I will discuss about URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, webcasting techniques, search engine and its tools. So thank you so much for today and stay connected with us. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.